Yes. Now, friends, we will work on the parts where the belts are. Look at this part here. It's already clear that there is a 10 centimeter gap. For that part, I will come again with the measuring tool now, and I am giving a measurement here. This part here is 185 centimeters. I said 10 centimeters from 185, and I will close the lower part here by saying, let's go, because I want it to come downwards. At the 0 point of the wall, I did this, friends, and I made it feasible by saying farm and proceeded with this operation. Since the others were closed, I also completely closed the hideness model part. Friends, I came like this. I will go back a little more if you want the work to be more comfortable. Click on the lens symbol here, type 65 instead of the value that says 45, press enter, and since the lens will improve, you will work more comfortably. I also took this, pressed the he button, turned like this. Friends, look, it's not the claw screw in the shape. That was wrong. I exited the group from here. I placed it on the wall in the way I took it. As you can see, friends, now what I will do is this. Normally, we have a gap of 80 centimeters at 30 centimeters. In the distance measurements, friends, the distance measurements here are over there. At 30 centimeters, it is 80 centimeters. The height here has become 190, and here it appears to be around 203 or 205. Friends, we will make such an adjustment again now. When you open the complexion hidden of the model part from the video here, if you farm, it continues and only takes work. So it continues. The others do not disrupt your perception, meaning they do not break your concentration. That's why such an adjustment has been made. Again from here, 30 centimeters, 80 centimeters as 157. The customer requested it, friends, meaning there wasn't such a situation here. But because the customer wanted such a trace, it evolved into this situation. Project. Let's do it this way. Let's erase this as well. You can also make drawings here according to your own project. Friends, so you don't necessarily have to follow this. You can change the project. I think a better result will emerge because if you add your own impression, your own experience, you can achieve a better result. In this part, I made it 30 centimeters again. Let's leave it at 80. How much is left here? 44. So there was a mistake here. Like this, 3080. This should be 157. 157, yes. 30. 80. Okay. This part here, yes. Since this part joins with the column, that part can remain here. There is no problem. From here. Since this part here will be a bit large, I'm making it 2 meters. Friends, I will break it at 2 meters here. Let me bring it from a part like this. Let's break a 60 centimeter piece from a part like this there. I wrote 60. And of course, where will the breaking point be? Let's take a look. Yes, here it is. We will break a piece from here. That's why this 2. Let's make it 30 as shown in the photo of this edit, so it fits in nicely. We will break a bit lower in these areas. Let's do that too. How much should it be from here? We can break it from 145, 160, or it could be 180. Let's make it 180. I took this too. We can take it as 30 centimeters. By making these 30 again from here, I pressed Ctrl, took it from here and added it here. This is the process. The remaining parts. These are my merging processes, friends. You can merge them like this. Let's do it. Yes. I say delete guide from edit. I deleted these. By double-clicking these parts, we have created the sections here. That's the situation. Now we can do something like this. Does the bevel command work here? Let's take a look at that. For these parts to be more like turning. Yes, look, it's processing, guys. Let's do these parts. Let's see what it will do. Yes, I wanted these parts to have a bit more conversation. It did it there, and it actually turned out quite nice. I mean, look, I'm saying we don't see these parts. Well, as you can see, it has divided these parts. Actually, if we divide these parts a bit lower and at an angle, it would be nicer. Suddenly, it goes, I close the text, guys, let it be like this. Sorry. I selected this surface. Just Let's do it like this. Subscribe. 3.4 centimeters. Cut it from 2 centimeters. Yes, he cut it at 2 centimeters, friends. I will cut a bit from here as well. I'm saying 2 centimeters inward. I pressed enter. Yes, it was cut from 2 centimeters. Look, it looks very soft and smooth. Looking soft and smooth is a very ideal method for us. That is for render engines. Friends, look, let me open view a hidden geometry. Do you see the curves? Because the curves are made very soft and smooth, it turned this area organically and it turned out to be a nice effect. Look, like this. In this video, yes, friends, we have created a part of the arch like this. However, I would like to offer you a small suggestion and advice. You might encounter a situation like this with the textures and models you bring in. Look, now I want to show you how much quality is affected. It's a small thing, but I want to show how much it reflects the quality. Look here, we have a lamp, and around it, look, it's jagged, friends. Now, jagged models, they always say in SketchUp that the model quality is low. Actually, the low model quality is due to these jagged parts here, friends. Look, these parts need to be rounded or brought to this state with a bevel effect. It's something we always do. If you do this, you can quickly smooth it with soft, or I went back with T-Troze. Look, you double click. We had our round corner plugin. I had shown it. I will give these to you. I always say, round corner is here. Look, I marked it. You selected this part, friends. Look, it adjusts the breaking part here. It says offset segment 1. Let's make it 3. It's too much. I say 0.25. Look, I pressed the OK or How button. And I deleted the part here, the surface part. Look, this does the same operation. But the breaking operation here is soft and smooth. Look, do you see it, friends? I suddenly opened the hidden geometry. How soft it looks. It looks like a cotton, to be honest. So, to speak, it needs to look like this. How was it before? I say Ctrl-Z. Look at the sharp lines. Do you see it, friends? That's why whether you use bevel or use the other command, friends, you can bend it inward or outward like this. Look, let's do it like this. When we bend it like this, you can see that it's quite an efficient process. Let me open the hidden geometry. As you can see, it's a process like this. Since we will be making these parts, as lights in Enscape, there's no point in them staying or looking like this. It can stay as you like. I turned off the healing geometry in Vivid, friends. I came like this. Now we need to slowly move on to the coloring part. The coloring part is important. We will color every part we make anyway. For example, when we have a floor like this, you will go from the coating part on this floor to the material part. Friends, you can apply any floor color from here. But as I said at the beginning, when you apply this floor color to the walls you have taken in the landscape, the walls will be the same this time. Since it will be a layer, you can make the walls and different places different colors. We will also get help from artificial intelligence regarding colors. So, if there are those who have difficulty with harmonious colors, we will continue by getting help with harmony. As you can see, friends, in other parts, we will bring in our other lessons on coloring and our other models. For door models, again from our model here, let's take this back by saying Ctrl-Z, friends. I will already provide you with this model in both. I say it belongs. Look, we will take the door models here and add them there. You say edit copy from here. From within the work, you came to the work. Edit, paste. Well, of course, there is such a situation. I mean, the door model here can be modeled when it is a special model, but that's something that happens once in a blue moon. I mean, if you're not working at a door company, there's no need to model the door originally. Friends, that's why you need to bring these in and speed up your workflow with ready-made options. You brought this, for example, like this. Let's do it this way. I added this part here. Look, there are remaining parts here. The parts that are outside are already visible. I took the scale command. Look to see the middle part. The part in the middle is this diagonal part. If you push it here from scale, the middle part becomes visible. If you want to see the middle part, you press K. Or if you don't want to see it, you press K again. You close it. I came like this, brought it here, took the top part, friends, and left it here. As you can see, this is what happened. I'm even switching scenes, moving forward because it stayed behind me again. I looked back a bit with my eye icon. See, it settled like this. If you want these parts to be identical, you can adjust a bit more. Move this inward like this. Or let it stay like this, friends, the same. We can do the same operation here in this part as well. So you took this part, you said copy from edit, You came here. Again, let's hide the ceiling from here. Edit. By saying paste, you bring it here, friends. An operation like this. Quite easy, quite simple. In normal models. Not everything is modeled anyway. In this modeling process, after creating many shells, you need to speed up your workflow by using ready-made models for other parts. Otherwise, you won't finish the work, nor will you be able to deliver it. You did it like this. You brought it like this. Look at the sides. Is there any overflow on the sides? There is no overflow on the sides. It fits perfectly. With the move command, you can slightly, when we take this side, that is, when we bring the sweeping part like this, friends, this will be the situation. Yes, that's it for this lesson. See you in the next lesson. As I said, slowly. Now, we continue with the parts in the concept of modeling by adding color. Friends, for example, if this part is wood, you immediately come here, press the wood color plus sign. Let's say you wrote wood here. You press the OK button. You color it like this here. The importance of coloring is great. Important and obvious, friends. That's why you need to color constantly. We will develop the wall colors and these parts by conducting tests and experiments with both the textures we have taken inside the Enscape and from outside. The project, friends. The models we use here. Look, these models are the bedroom, this one. Like the models we use around here for the back of the bed. We will take these. I placed these pillows a bit quickly from memory here, but we can find a higher quality one, friends. Here, again, there is a bookshelf model like this. There is another bookshelf model. In fact, in Enscape, there are greening elements that we will use on the wall. Using them, we can make this wall a green wall. Here, a two-sided library was built, but we can make one side a greening unit. We will already bring the other parts ready, friends. The general part we have done here is this. The completion of the shell. After this shell is completed, friends, the other parts are already in our ready model. We can change styles a lot, that is, on the ground. In the evening, we can create various examples by changing the colors on the wall. Friends,